Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we will check out the OP08 Marco. He's red, blue, and he's, I would say, quite an interesting character. It's a mix of blue and red. I guess it's not that common, at least in the meta, kind of like a stronger leader, I would say. But yeah, first of all, I'm sorry for the last week that I couldn't do any videos. I felt really bad for my allergy, so at the moment it's really heavy. I'm quite happy that today is Sunday, so I can stay all day at home and don't go out at all. So yeah, I can breathe and chill a little today. It feels really nice instead of, yeah, go outside, go to work, hang out outside. A lot of people want to open the windows, it's like springtime. Everybody feels kind of light and happy about the warm weather and the more sunshine. And yeah, for me, it's more like the opposite. I would like to go in a dark room and close everything that keeps me from the outside. Keeps me connected to the outside for the trees and all of this. So yeah, but anyways, today we will check out the leader, Marco. He's definitely a cool leader because he plays the Sanji 9 cost, a really strong card if you can play it. So his leader ability is you give him 1 Don, you draw 1 card, and then you put 1 card on the top of your deck, and then give some character from your opponent minus 2000, which is a nice addition. I would guess like just draw 1 and put 1 on the top of your deck is already not that bad. But the extra 2000 feels really nice. And it's like a great combination with Sanji. So you give him 1 Don, draw 1 card, put maybe the Newgate on top or also the Silver Rayleigh. And then for 9 Don you play the Sanji. And then cheat out the Rayleigh or the Newgate. And then immediately KO something, minusing something, and then be ready for next turn for a 9k and an 8k or another 8k or like removal for next turn. So yeah, feels really, really nice, I would say. You can also play the new Monkey D. Luffy Secret Rare. As usually, I took this deck list from OPO Top Decks, where this... Oh, actually, I'm not sure if I even take it from OPO Top Decks. Maybe I found it on Instagram. I'm not sure. At least this deck list topped, so it's usually not my build. And yeah, it's a nice addition for an extra card. I rarely even played it. I guess the Rayleigh as a 4th, of course, or the Newgate is way more common to draw. And also, like, the Rayleigh feels so strong. Because the minusing is also for next turn. You could also play the Ace, which is nice for the rush, and 2 times minus 3000. But it cannot KO something, so if your opponent went all in last turn, you can definitely KO something for the rush. But usually I think the KO is a little better, especially because your leader already gets or needs to have +1 Don, so it's already at 6000. Then it can minus something, and then an additional minus from Rayleigh, so you can KO definitely one thing for sure, which is really nice. You have two 2Ks, an additional blocker in the mid game, which feels kind of nice for a 5 Don. Cost reduction for the Newgate or for the Rayleigh, another cost reduction. The Ivankov is a special card, I would say. It fits really good if it comes up. You can cheat out a 1 or 2 cost card from the top of your deck. So you can play, for example, the Monet on top or the Duval. So you can cheat it out, and if your hand size is smaller than 6 cards, when this card is attacking, you draw 1. So I guess there is a game where I draw a lot of cards, so it really came up a lot. So we can, yeah, check this out later. Monet is just a really good card at the moment for additional Don management. You get always some extra Don, so your opponent usually tries to KO it because it's way too strong, getting extra 2 Don every turn. And -1 Don for your opponent, -1k power for your opponent character. So definitely a cool card, and feels like a pseudo blocker which comes up most of the time, I would say. An additional blocker for the even curve. This is the blocker for the uneven curve, and this is some small searcher put on top. It's not really a searcher, it's just like decide what you want to put on top, which feels also kind of nice, especially also the block. And then just some support card, because as you can see, like most of the cards are more like higher Don cards, so more for the late game. This is definitely a late game character. It shines really heavily. If you play 2 of the Sanjis, then usually your opponent has no chance whatsoever. But you try to, live in the mid game. That's why you need a lot of blocker and just some 2Ks and some additional events. So enough of the talking. So let's dive. So guys, welcome back. I had some problems with my media player from Windows. I don't know why, but they updated it and I was not able to did the paste faster, like 1.5 or 2 times the speed. So I needed to install a new one and maybe check it out in the future if I can find a better one, because this one is fine, but it doesn't really look that good. It looks kind of old, and I mean, in general it doesn't matter. I need just a player for making it 2 times or 1.5 in general, but let's try if it's work, if it's doable. So I did it on 1.5 at the moment as usual, and let's dive right into my favorite counterpart leader, Nico Robin. Okay. So we have the Sanji already in hand, we have the blockers and top cards changer. I'm actually not sure how to call it, like when they change the placing on top. But yeah, we have some Rayleighs on top, which is not the best, as you saw. Like, for sure we would have loved to get a blocker Sanji, like a 4-cost we can play. I mean, the Empuria Ivankov is also nice, so we can readjust. But yeah, okay, we throw it away. So yeah, we play out the Monet, which would be also an alternative to cheat out with Ivankov, but then we would have lost our first card or top card of the deck. Yeah, for our life pile, of course, not of the deck. Yeah, so we put a Sanji there and just try fast to go to the late game. We are not really using we couldn't, or we didn't really need it. We didn't really need to use the Monet. She is strong, but yeah, she probably would have BK'd next turn anyways. I mean, like this turn we only hoping that not our... Yeah, maybe we need to get our first card of our life gets trashed, or we block it. Okay, we can also give the 2k, it's fine as well. And then block the attack from Bonnie, so Nico Robin cannot draw 2 cards and trash one, which is definitely a nice action for her. But our hand size now is quite small. We definitely benefit from getting our life cards. Marco definitely needs a lot of cards because most cards are not really drawing a card, so that's why Ivankov is also really nice. And a little sad, or kind of like a misplay from my side, that I was not using her in the beginning. But sometimes you never know, like if we would have drawn instead of Ivankov now, 1 or 2 cost, or we a 1 or 2 cost which is worth cheating out for sure, or maybe like a 5 cost Nami blocker, then we would be fine as well. But here at this point we go with Monet into the Bonnie. Definitely nice to get rid of her, so she cannot draw 2 cards, and 4 into 2 is definitely big enough to make sure that she's not defending out of it. I mean, technically she could, because she will draw or go +1 anyways next turn, but yeah, I guess she also needs to have the cards in hand that I could have attacked again anyways. Okay, so we just played out the Ivankov, which is fine, like we can draw a card next turn from her. Okay, 5 into 3, as I said, like Monet is usually the blocker you need. Okay, crazy, there's the Kaido and Lin. Now it's getting a little scary, because usually you just lose 2 lives because of this card if it attacks you. But on the other hand, Nico Robin gets then in a, yeah, how to say, like in a worse spot. With only, I guess you start with only with 0 Don? Yeah, you start with 0 Don, I guess. So it's definitely not that nice. And her hand size is quite small as well. So if we can manage to get some life cards here. Okay, draw another ace. Russia, always nice. Okay, she gives us another card from her hand. So we get a 1 life at least. So she's still at 2 life, which is getting a little risky for her. But if she goes into our life now, then we definitely have a problem. Because it will be benched anyways. So she could finish 3 lives here from our side. Okay, the old Hiyori trick, so she can put a, what was her name again? The forecast which cheats out herself if our life card is below 3. Kikunoju, yeah. Which is a nice combo to put her there. Also an interesting build. I haven't really seen that before. Okay, Line to 4. I'm actually, yeah, I don't know why. So, yeah, I'm just checking if you need to do it, because it's crazy that you are not, that it's not mandatory. I thought it's always mandatory to attack and use the when attack effect. I mean, let's have a quick look. Minus 10 Don. Yeah, okay, it's not telling anything that helps me to find out if it's mandatory or not. Okay, so she's playing 2 blocker, which is crazy. So we will definitely not take one of her lives here. Yeah, so we can use the ability. Doesn't really matter which we give the minus 2000. She actually takes the life, which is crazy. Because if she loses the Kaido, if she uses the Kaido and Linden now, the chopper will be gone anyways. I'm a little confused why she didn't block. Because just 1 life now gets kind of crazy for her. And a little risky. So now she's definitely in a worse spot. She had a really strong spot like last time. Okay, 6 into 5. Yeah, we just give the 2k. And now, yeah, she probably goes, yeah, all in into our life. We wouldn't counter out anyways. That's why we also gave our 2k away. And another 2k, and she's still not attacking with Kaido and Linden, and this time she's not even gaining a life, not even taking a life from our side. Kinda crazy. So we could play, yeah, maybe the ace would be better here. I mean, we can KO with Rayleigh the blocker, but yeah, maybe the ace is afterwards better. So we can take 1 life now. And Kaido and Linden get minus 3000 also for next time, so just a 9k attacker, which is not really like helping us whatsoever, because 9 is still too much. We are definitely not having the counter power. But yeah, we can go now 8 into 5, which is nice. Okay, Base Hawkins trigger, really good for her. So she will definitely have the trigger here, and the trigger the counter. So let's see, there's the 2k. And she lost. yeah, that was definitely a crazy game. I don't know why she was not able to use the ability, or why she just didn't do it. Okay, so here, so 1.5, and let's go. So now we're playing against Nami, one of the new leader. A lot of people hyped her a lot. Some cards got really expensive, like months ago or something like this, and yeah, now she is more like mediocre, like more like on the bottom of the meta. Because there was actually not that many strong cards for her, to be honest. I was a little surprised that she's not getting, yeah, really Nami support cards. And you usually just play whatever there was before. Which, yeah, feels just a little sad. The leader is definitely a strong leader. Okay, we can just give it 2k. It's not that important. So she bounces the Monet, which is not that bad for us. So we can put the Monet on top. Or maybe the Duval. Duval is also not that bad for having a blocker, but I guess, yeah, the additional power of Monet is really strong. Yep, so we get one card out of her hand, deploy the Monet, and give the turn back. Technically we could have played the Monet as well. Or like used her ability, not she's already played, but used her ability. But yeah, I mean, also an 8 into 7, or like an 8 into 5, she maybe would have taken the first hit and we would lose our Monet this turn. And yeah, we gladly take one card from our deck. Another Ivankov, which is crazy, and we have a lot of low cost character, which is also a little untypical. Especially because we are playing a lot of big character. Like the Ace, the Newgate, the Sanji. We're definitely not. And we are not drawing any of them. Which is cool for the early game. But I mean, for this point it would be also nice if we got a Newgate or something. I mean, yeah. It's not really that beneficial at the moment. So I was thinking, like, what should I do here? Like, definitely play out another Ivankov and put the Duval on top. Yeah, now I can cheat out another. I can cheat out the Duval with the Ivankov, and there are some bigger characters. So this card is also played the Secret Rare Monkey D. Luffy in Nami. But I guess the Newgate is a little better for KOing like all of the small character here. So yeah, just 5 into 5, so she needs to give a card from her hand, and she will be 7k for until the end of the turn. Okay, she's giving a pudding, interesting. I would have thought that she's keeping the pudding because our hand size is getting quite big with all of the Ivankovs. So 7 into 7. Let's see if she gives us a 1k. Or 2k, or she takes it. She takes it, okay, nice. We could have used the Monet here as well, but yeah, I thought it's like a little overkill. Also, we cannot reduce the power of anything here. Like, I mean, we could, but we don't really benefit from that. Okay, so she goes 6 into 4. I guess we can counter out because our hand size is quite big. Just to make sure we are not getting pudding, that we can draw some cards. Because Ivankov is only able to let you draw a card if you are 6 cards or lower, which is already nice. Nico Robin. So there's the Luffy. I mean, we could play the Newgate here, use the Monet to give our leader 1 down. 2 down, of course. But we decide to take the Monkey D. Luffy. Yeah, here I thought like I could maybe give like split the Don, but I was not able to. So you can only attack, or you can only give one character 2 Don. Which was here maybe not the best idea to do. Like I probably should have given the 2 Don to Marco and attack with the Ivankovs anyways. So here I could bounce a card, but yeah. Maybe only the Nico Robin would be a good bounce, but didn't really wanna give the cards back. I could have also attacked with the second Ivankov, which was a small misplay from my side. I definitely should have given the Don to my Marco. And I guess the Newgate would have been probably also the better decision to KO the Nico Robin. I mean, then we had one attack less, but we definitely get the control over the board, because now she can start to destroy our board. And I guess giving her the Duval is definitely the right decision. Our board gets too big anyways. So yeah, we will counter that. We can draw cards anyways later. So even if you attack with the Ivankov 4 into 5, you definitely still draw a card. Okay, so she uses the Red Hawk and we get the Sanji, really nice. So yeah, from here we can use the Sanji to cheat out the Newgate. So the optimal play would be to use Monet, give 2 Don to our leader, then play out the Sanji. No, actually use the leader ability first. Yeah, I was a little confused, like what is the best or the right order to do everything. So we use Monet first, give the 2 Don to Marco. We can also do it the other way around, like use the Monet later and give 2 Don to Ivankov. But I guess it's better to actually give the 2 Don to Marco, then use the leader ability, cheat out the Sanji, put on the Newgate of course on top, then play out the Sanji, cheat out the Newgate. Yeah, and here we did a big misplay. That was definitely hurting. So we wanted to attack first and give him a little less information about our big board, and yeah, we had to draw a card here. Really sad. So now it feels like more like guessing if there's a card on top, and we are lucky. The Nami blocker is not that bad, but the Newgate for sure would have been the better card. So draw 3, trash 2. Oh no, put at the bottom, right? Yeah, I think we put them at the bottom or top. Okay, so 4 again. We're drawing another card, really nice. Okay, so she takes maybe one of her cards back to hand. Okay, so we could use the Monet now. Then make sure to KO the Nico Robin. Yeah, we should have done that before. Like the better turn order would have been what I said before, but this was more of the early games and I was a little confused. Like if you need to control so many cards and minusing effects and if clauses, then you're definitely sometimes a little confused on what to do first, especially in the game. Like afterwards you usually see it a little clearer. But we have a lot of counter power anyways, and I guess Nami is definitely not in the best spot. We still have a blocker. I mean, she can use for example, like a Red Hawk, get rid of our Sanji. But yeah, our board, especially our drawing cards, are definitely strong. Next time we can play the Rayleigh if we are not drawing a Sanji. Then just start to KO stuff. Okay, 8 into 5, we can counter that. Just give 2 2Ks. Or we could technically also give a 2K into 1Ks. So let's see what he's giving us back to hand. Maybe an Ivankov? Or the Monet, probably. No, maybe Ivankov, I guess. Yeah. So less draw power for us next turn. But I'm also, yeah, I guess drawing is fine anyways, also just one card. I mean, drawing 2 cards every turn is really strong. And also the Monet rotation here is really nice. We are in a crazy good spot. So this is a great example on how to play in the early game with the Ivankov and the Monet, and then later go to the bigger character like Sanji and Rayleigh and everything. Okay, so she gives us our blocker back. So it was nice that we didn't block, so otherwise she probably would have given us our Ivankov or Monet back, which we definitely need. I mean, the Monet wouldn't be that bad, but the Ivankov for sure. So now we could counter out here, just give her a bunch of 1Ks. So we can keep the Monet. Okay, so KOing the BB. Yeah, we should have done the turn order also differently. We should have used the Monet, used the Marco leader ability, minusing the Luffy, play out the Rayleigh, KO the Rayleigh, and then go into life, but it doesn't really matter at this point anyways, I guess. We are really in a good spot here. I mean, our hand size gets kind of small. Okay, so we are not getting any big character. So we could play the Race Max for the bottom of our deck. Or the Monet. Yeah, so 8 into 7, she probably takes it. Okay. I thought she would have had a 2k, but that's not the case. Let's see. Okay. She definitely KOing our Monet. Maybe the Ivankov as well. Oh no, she tries to go all in. Okay. Really nice that we left the 1 down open. Okay. Yeah, she probably thought like, oh, if I go now fast into life, maybe I can kill him before he kills me. So yeah, we give her the 1 life. I mean, here's the Sanji, really nice. So maybe just, yeah, we could give just 1 Don to our Ivankov, go 5 into 5. And then use the Monet for giving our Marco an additional. Additional Don and putting up our deck, you know. Okay, so we will not play out the Sanji. Interesting. I cannot remember why I didn't use it, but maybe I thought like I can finish the game here. Could be. I mean, we are definitely in a good spot. We have 4 attacks here, and we can check now if we are able to win the game. I mean, we can KO the Linden. So, okay, she takes it back. So if we want to. Okay, so just 7 into life. Okay, so small misplay from her side. Now last hit she would take that for sure. And yeah, if she is not playing any rush character, she definitely has a problem here. And yeah, our last play was definitely bad. We could have played that way better. In my opinion, it would have been a better call to play the new gate. Like just giving 1 down to Ivankov, 5 into 5, then she throws a card and gets as a 7. K leader until the end of the turn, then play the new gate, 1 Don to our leader. Then leader put, I don't know, like, doesn't matter, new gate on top. Minus 2000 for our, for her, like the Lin Lin, then the Monet, minus 1000 for the Lin Lin, and there's the rush character. And then KO with the new gate, the Lin Lin. So we are only 3 down now. So we can counter out the Nami attack, which feels really good. So yeah, we actually won the game here. So 8 into 5. She gives us a card back to hand. I don't know why. That makes not a lot of sense. Or could he give a Nami plus 1000? But if he gives me a 1k back to hand and gives Nami plus 1000, then I don't know why. It's like a trade-off. Yeah. It didn't really make a lot of sense. And we even get the Divine Departure. Okay, yeah, she lost anyways. So just Divine Departure, 1k, and yeah, she lost. So kinda unlucky for her. She could have, yeah, I'm actually not sure if she could have played that better, because we were just lucky with, let me go back to her hand size, or like what card she has in hand. Let's see. Okay, she had the kids, but then it would have been the same. Yeah, she definitely had a problem here, and we could have played that way better. So this game was definitely not the best on my side. So, but we won it anyway, so lucky for us. But you saw the potential definitely on Marco. So more slower leader for late game, he definitely can win. He's more like the early push character, which gives him problems. I mean, here it's kind of easy, as you can see, like we go first, so Arlong has nearly, I wouldn't say no chance, but he's definitely in a disadvantage. So lucky that we played out our blocker, otherwise he could have banished the card. So place on top, minus 2000, doesn't really matter anyways. Get the Monet, really strong early gameplay. 2 cards for only 3 Don. And a 7k attack, he gets the Basil Hawkins. Okay, he trashes the Buggy, which is also a strong card. And we have 3 2ks in hand. I mean, would have been also nice to have 2 2ks and 1 1k, just in case to have an even number. But I mean, 3 2ks is even better, so yeah, we can counter it out. So double attack, we have enough counter power, really nice, and another 2k. And now we can start to play, yeah, we can play the new gate. 1 Don to Ivankov. KO. Sadly, we cannot KO the Buggy. Draw 1 card. But I mean, the Arlong is fine as well. So he gives us another card, and we are still at 4 life. That is crazy. So 6 into 4. We could counter out of that, but Ivankov already gave us enough advantage and drawing cards and cheating cards out, so she can go here. 12 into 8, that's crazy. We need to let it go, I guess. So we can use the Sanji here if we want to. But sadly, I think I'm not seeing the... Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm not seeing the the strategy here. We could use the Monet and give 2 Don to our leader and then play out the Sanji and the Rayleigh. So misplay from my side again. So I guess I realized it now. I felt a little bad at this point. But that's normal, that's the game for sure. Like even if you're the best player ever, of course the best player make way less mistakes, but yeah. Even in a normal game it's kinda usual to do mistakes. Okay, 9 into 5. We will let that go through. Okay, so now we can use, or we could use our Sanji. Yeah, and we are still not using our Monet. I don't know why. But it's nice that we get a Rayleigh. Yeah, so minus 3k for Kikunoju for the next turn. Eight into 5 and another 8 into 5. So yeah, he is technically already dead. Yeah, and he surrenders. So as you saw, we did some small mistakes, but we were able to win anyways. But our biggest win in the Arlong game was that we played, that we started first. It feels so bad as an Arlong player to go second. Something that they definitely need to fix. I like my gameplay, my testing was not with the new, I think it's a 7 cost Arlong. Maybe it fixes the deck, but from what I saw, I'm not really sure if that really helps the deck a lot. And I'm kind of curious on the Jinbei in the future. So the Monet, always a good early game card, if I use it correctly. So now we're playing against Corby, also one of the new leader. He's kinda nice. I guess a lot of people hyped him a little too much. The new cards he got, like the SWAT cards, only some of them are good, like the Corby for example, or the Helmeppo are really strong. The Garb is kinda bad. I don't know why they made him not that great. The promo Corby, I'm not really sure if yeah, if it's worth it to play the card. I definitely need to check out that deck. I like Corby a lot. It's a really interesting deck. Yeah, so we can only play the Duval here. Yeah, we could leave it like this. And then take the Divine Departure to our hand. Yeah, but anyways, we have enough counter 2Ks. So we can play out a second Monet. Yeah, place one of the big ones on top. Minus 2k. Attack first and then play out the Monet. 7 to 5, he takes that. So his hand size is quite big. Okay, we place out the Prince Grooves. I never saw that before. But he's able to get around our blocker. So no blocker activity from our side. I mean, we could have just let the Monet go. But now he needs to attack again, so we will not lose a life. Just for 1k. Which is quite nice. Okay. He plays out 2 blocker. And 5 into 3. Yeah, we let that go. And yeah, we should have kept the 1k, I guess. Because we are not having any option here. We are just at 6 Don. So the 5k blocker with 1k counter power Nami was definitely, yeah, kind of like a bad call to get rid of. We should have used the 2k. Yeah, so draw a card. We put it there, so We knew that. New gate on top, minus 2k for the blocker, and now we need to work with our Monet as an attacker. And to make the best out of it, so he will not, yeah, he will not block our blocker from blocking. Okay, he gives us the blocker, the 1k. So now 6 into 5. Let's see if he gives us the garb. Yep, he gives us, yeah, we can use the blocker now, why not? I mean, if he wants to, he can attack the blocker next turn anyways. We cannot defend the Monet, which feels kinda sad, but if he wants to take it, we cleared the whole board. At this point, we are kinda same here. Okay, 2 blocker, cheated out. Okay, garb can give -1 cost. Which will not need to, like, yeah, help him a lot here. 8 into 3, that is fine. Okay, so yeah, we can play our Silver Rayleigh and KO one of the blocker. If I remember right, I did a small mistake here. So as you know from the leader ability, you would have known that you cannot KO the garb, because he can just put some of his navy characters on the bottom of the deck and then save it. So we definitely should have KO'd the Rebecca and then went with our leader into the garb, so he couldn't have saved it. But on the other hand, it's also nice to not let him have the cards in the trash, because a lot of these cards benefit from having cards in trash, like the navy or sword cards. So yeah, we have a blocker, we have Rayleigh. Definitely nice. I hope we get a Sanji soon. And we can start to cheat out 2 cards at once. Maybe with the new gate get rid of one of his Rebecca. Sorry, I'm coughing a lot here in this episode. So let's see what he will play. Okay, the Hibari. We can KO that. Use our leader ability, -2000 for Hibari, and then KO with Newgate if we want to. But he can save her. Oh no, he cannot save her, because there are no cards in trash. So now we give it 2k. There's another Rayleigh, so technically we can use it again. So then -2000 for the garb. So we can leave 1 down open for Divine Departure. We could have given it -2000, an additional -2000, but yeah, it wouldn't change anyways. Like, he's not giving us 4 cards for a 3-cost blocker. There's the Sanji, quite nice. I mean, is this our 10-don turn? Yeah, I guess so. So probably we should have started with the leader ability. So maybe something to keep in mind for you also, that it could, yeah, it's like an option to start with the leader ability always. Okay, there's the Corby. So we can go into Garb, and I don't know why he's not giving him an additional Dawn. Maybe he tries to get the blocker, or like KOing both, but we can just give it 2k now. And now he can go 8 into 8 again, and we can give him the Duval blocker. Yeah, 8 into 8. We blocked that. There's a new gate, nice. So yeah, we put the ace on top. -2000. yeah, just start hitting 6 into 4. Let's see if he gives us 2 cards for that. Okay, he actually gives us 2 cards, crazy. So 7 into 4. Yeah, this is a 1k. Let's see if he gives us the blocker. So we will probably get 1 life here. Yep. He gives us the blocker. 8 into 4, he will not defend that. He cannot even defend that. And then 8 into 6, draw a card, and yeah, we are good to go. So now we are in a good position. The baddest thing can happen here is Helmeppo cheating out the code. Yeah, okay, there it is. This is definitely the key combo from Corby. Play out the Helmeppo, cheat out the Corby, which will go on the bottom of the deck at the end of the turn, but it can attack now an active character, which is, yeah, not a big problem here. Okay, 7 into 7, he should have do at least 8 into 7. I mean, maybe he just wanted to try, but it would have hurt a lot if we lost 3 cards here. But of course he don't know our hand, so we could have had a 2k also, so maybe he was saving more for next turn. Like was searching from the peacock, maybe a 2k. And also, yeah, he couldn't be sure. Like, of course we know our hand, that there's nothing to defend except for the Ivankov, but he didn't, so he was not able to attack plus 2k with all 3 of his attacks, so maybe he just started with a 7 into 7. Okay, so now he wants to be sure that something dies. So 10 into 8. So he will get 2 cards here, so the Rayleigh for sure. Lucky for us that he was not looking for the Sanji. So the best would be if he KOs the ace here now, but yeah, he's 9. So he takes the Rayleigh, that's fine for us also. So now, yeah, as I said before, the Corby is gone now. Helmeppo is rested, so we can just minusing the power of Helmeppo and then KO it with Nugate. Yeah, place the Divine Departure, we will not need that at the moment. And play the Nugate, +1 for our leader. And then KO the Helmeppo. He has enough cards in trash, so we can definitely expect him to, yeah, put the cards at the bottom. So now 7 into 5. Let's see if he gives us 2 cards here. Probably not. He already gave us a lot of 2Ks, so yeah, we can go now 7 into 6. Maybe he gives us a 2k here, yeah, because he drew the Drake from the Peacock Search and we can play the blocker. Yeah, we can put it at the bottom, no big character which we could play next turn. And there's another Helmeppo, nice for him, but he doesn't have a Corby, which feels a little bad for him, so he cheats out the Drake, the X-Drake. It's also a 7 cost character. 7 power, 6 cost. So 7 to 7, we can counter that. So we will keep, of course, at least one of our character. No, at least 2, because we have the blocker. So he can only KO 1 here. I should have saved the blocker, but I thought like maybe he has something to KO it, like the or to stop it, like the 2 cost. I forgot the name, the Goose, Prince Goose or something like this was his name. Yeah, he surrendered here, so let's go back. Let's see, maybe he was hoping for another Helmeppo or something. So, oh, he actually had another Helmeppo. Okay, anyways, yeah, like the clapback, he couldn't survive. Like he should have taken the 2k, but I guess Rebecca is not able to grab a 1 cost. I think it's only a 3 cost or higher or something, but like between 3 cost and 7 cost or something. So yeah, as you saw, like this deck, especially in the end game, shines a lot. So let's go to our last game. So we start with a moderate hand, I would say. Actually, the hand is not that bad for going second. Which what I also have to say is that Marco is definitely a leader which can go first and second. Depends a little on what you're drawing. But in general, I prefer going second. For giving a Don to our leader. And use the leader ability, because we have a lot of off-curve cards. But yeah, in general, like maybe going first would be also good to take the first attack away from our opponent, especially into rush character. So yeah. So our hand size is already quite small. If you're not seeing the Ivankov, you usually have a small hand. Ooh. It's usually a little tired on a Sunday afternoon. Okay, 7 into 5. Oh, here's the Isho. So we need to take care of a big hand size here, so maybe it's better to not have the Ivankov. So yeah, we can play the Nami here. We are able to have a mid-game character, which is nice. And a blocker as well, because the Moria goes quite pushy into us. 2 cards on top, yeah. We can put the big cards on top. Because we will need some counter power when he attacks us. And I will not get rid of the Corona, because otherwise he will play her again. The Ryuma definitely needs to be blocked because it has double attack for 1 ton, but he will give him 1 don for sure. Okay, another Corona unlucky. So we need to throw 1 blocker away. And then maybe block with Nami. And give 1... Oh no, we actually take the life. Okay, that's fine for me. So he will attack with 6 probably again. Yeah, obvious. We probably should have used the Divine Departure here, because now he can KO our blocker. But I guess with the Ryuma you usually want to go into life. At least I would have wanted to. So I mean we will not be able to counter out of that. But crazy, he goes into our blocker, so okay, he can have that. So okay, we are at the 8 don turn, so we can KO the Corona and then KO in battle the Ryuma, which feels nice. Then give the turn back to him. We have only 1 blocker left and no don for Divine Departure, so the next turn will hurt a little. So we can block that and give a 1k dual. So he cannot KO, or he can KO our blocker now, but it wouldn't really matter. Okay, so he plays the Isho, our hand size was way too small. We get another new gate. So now we can start to play the new gate into Sanji. Or like the Sanji into the new gate. So yeah, put the new gate on top. Sheet out the new gate with the Sanji. We are not able to KO the Isho, which is a little sad. And KO the Corona. Yeah, and then 7 into life. And then 8 into life. Let's see if he counters that out. Maybe that was 2-2Ks? No, he takes it also. So only 2 life left for him as well. But for us it gets a little risky here. We only have 1 blocker left, so if he can KO that, we are in big trouble. So I would give the blocker here for sure. Like he cannot kill, yeah, he cannot kill us here. I guess Moria is not playing any rush character. would be a big surprise for sure. So that we are sure that he is not KOing our Sanji. Or Chopper for sure. So he can KO now our Rayleigh or our Newgate. Okay, now he gives us a Don to Isho. So he probably tries to KO something here. The Zuru, 2k gone, but he will probably take something here from us. Okay, 11 into 8, we have 1 Don, 2 less, which hurts a little. There's the Absalom, so he can KO the Newgate and KO our Rayleigh. That hurts a lot. And there's the Ivankov. So we can KO the Absalom with the Newgate, which is nice. And then play the Monet to give a Don to our leader. And then give minus 2000 to our to the Isho. Okay, so only in Newgate we can put it back. We will need the counter power for sure. I mean, we could have also put the Monet on top, play out the Ivankov, cheat the Monet out, but then we had 1 Don 2 less for using the Divine Departure, which is really important here, not to get destroyed next turn. Now 11 into 6, and even if he could have countered out here with 3 2Ks, then we are still able to go 6 into 6 with our leader. So he would have needed a lot of cards here. Which is possible, but he already gave us a lot of 2Ks, so at least I guess that his hand is not that stacked with 2Ks anymore. So yeah, he could try to go all in here with the Zuru, but yeah, makes no sense. Also the 1 Don open always signals the Divine Departure or Radical Beam, so a lot of people are scared. Really nice, 7 to 5, always good for our Divine Departure. Yeah, and he surrenders here. Oh, I was a little too slow. And let's check his hand, another Absalom, the 2-cost event. Oh, the new Secret Rare Luffy, which is nice. And a lot of Pironas, yeah. So he didn't really have a lot of chance here. Sindri also not that good, yeah. We were a little lucky for our draws, of course, but I guess in general we played that definitely a little better than the games before. So where was it? There. Yeah, so this is the deck list again. As you saw, like we didn't really use the race max, which could then be also a 2k and also the bidding snake. I guess you can also cut them down to only 2 because the cost minusing or the cost reduction is really strong in that deck. Like discard, the leader also always. In emergency you can also use the Otama. So I guess maybe an additional 2k could be nice. Or maybe a low cost or like more like a mid-game character. Maybe a 5 cost Marco, for example, could be nice. Or a 5 cost blocker. But yeah, in general, I like the deck a lot. It felt really smooth. And yeah, as I said, it's more like a late game deck. So early game can hurt you a lot if you play wrong or if you get into a disadvantage. But in general, I guess the deck is definitely a solid rogue deck option to play. Maybe for locals or something. So yeah, I quite enjoyed the deck. So thank you for watching and we will see each other in the next video. Bye!